Wow, this is the 2018 BT-50, the Mazda BT-50. I don't know a lot about this rig, so whenever there's a bit of an issue, like when I did an oil change on it, because I had this light come up and I think it tells you when you need to do an oil change. You're like, oh, okay. And then you got to reset it by, well, I did the oil change myself, and then and change the filter also. And then there's some kind of sequence you got to do for the ignition and pushing down your fuel. You push down your accelerator here for a few seconds, and there's all this electronic bullshit. Anyways, my power window, this one here on my right was that's okay, but on my left not doing anything. So I was like, alright. So I looked up on the interzones, and it turns out like there's a fuse box under there. There's that one. That's old school style. And then you've got a fuse box over here. Alright, and I was going through on the interwebs, and that showed me what was what. And then this also in here, which generally they do give you an idea what's going on too. And so I was having a look at all these, and this different type of thing, you can actually see whether they're blown. But I went to pull one out and it popped the little cap off here, and you've got little caps and you can have a look. I'm not used to these things. I'm supposed to have a few I'm supposed to have a spare there and a spare there and all this sort of stuff. No spares. I just made sure that they're all sitting all good, because I had a good look at them. They look good. So just make sure. A few of them felt like they were sort of coming out a little bit, so pop them all sort of back in. But yeah, these particular type, you can see whether they're blown, and so they all look good. And I'm like, all right, so I might have to look deeper. Maybe I'm gonna have a just check my coolant there. And actually, when it's warm and it's cold, it's different. These diesels, man. Bloke up the road let me use his air hose, so I blew out, cleaned out my filter, because it wasn't too bad. And also it's got some kind of air conditioning line filter in there behind the bloke on the interzones on the YouTube webs mentioned that you can behind your glove box, there's a way to take that out. So I blew them out. So just general maintenance going on, all that sort of stuff. So I'm thinking, alright, I might have to look deeper into this. Maybe it's the switch, maybe it's the motor. And then I had a look at this. Like, what's this thingy-majiggy here? I was like, oh, alright, so let's whack key majiggy. He's got one of these majiggies, like the big bzoo bzoo, all that bull dust. Alright, so I that no do nothing that does. I hate power window. Stop just a little bit now. Go down further, and bloody bullshit. Apparently these got some kind of, they auto do some bull dust, and you've got it settings to make them work again, or some bull dust. If you remove your battery or disconnect your battery and put it back on, they've got some bull dust problems with them. You've got to reset. I hear tell on the interwebby zones. Anyways, this thingy-majiggy here, I went, oh, what's that? That looks like a window thingy-majiggy. Press that thingy-majiggy bazoo, and then go this one in. Oh, it's working. So there is no problem with it. So I was like, oh, great. So if you check your fuse and you've got nothing wrong with your fuse, like, I'll have to dig deeper. End up taking panels off and going through all bull dust and changing motors. Right. The other day, I was like, what's this thingy-majiggy? Oh, it looks like traction control to me. Because this thing will skip out on you, man. Some dangerous roads, the kangaroo roads, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and some of those roads, man, people are in a hurry. 100k roads, loads of gum trees. This thing will skip out on you all over the show. A little bit of wet, nothing in the back. Whoa, it's going to skip out. And so I don't mind the old traction control. The system here, apparently, it's something to do with either reduce your engine power through some sensors as to whether you're getting spin, one wheel spinning further more than another, and it'll apply some braking pressure like ABS do. You know, like sometimes you don't really like it, you come into a corner, you're like, whoa, I want to look into that, and the ABS will what's that word, equalise with your braking system, similar to that. I've never tried it. I didn't even know I had it. And the further I look into this bizzo thingy-majiggy, like this thing even talks to me, you know, in Bluetoothy bulldust or whatever. I don't want any of that bullshit. So I'm gonna this thingy-majiggy, I'm gonna give this a whirl sometime on when the roads are a bit wet, and I reckon that might be a whole lot safer. So traction control, yeah. But anyways, so I had no issue whatsoever. I must have somehow just pressed that somehow as I'm like doing whatever, trying to find all these bizzo thingy-majiggies. I didn't have that in the centre one time, and my left one was going all over the show. I like any all this electronic powery bullshits, because it's like there's always a problem with them. I'm old school, and you know if there is an issue, you know what it is. You're like, alright, could be this. No, this is some bizzo button bajiggies that I don't have, and I guess that you press that so if you've got like some untrainable dog or something and it decides to use that switch over there, and off it goes. Now, I was thinking, when I was looking at this, I was thinking, right, this switch doesn't work and that switch doesn't work, so I'm thinking, right, that's good, because maybe then it's fused, and it turns out that wasn't the case at all. I'm learning this rig, yeah, you know, all the doodads and bizzo bajiggies. Hey, you know, at least it looks like I know that's what the sealed containery bajiggies there, and I've got some pressurized system there, and when it's warm you check it and a fantastic brake booster thing on this majiggy here, and this unit, it's I'm very impressed with it. I'm impressed with its power. I'm very impressed with this diesel thingy-majiggy. When you whack the aircon on, you can hardly feel that you're losing any power, you know. It's bloody brilliant. That thingy-majiggy, that'll be an injectory thingy-majiggy that goes there, and then you 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 cylinders are 2.2, and the 5 cylinders are 3.2, apparently, something like that. I don't know. But I'm very impressed. This is a good buy. I wanted a manual, right? A real man's car. If you got an automatic, you're not a real man. You should feel shame. You've got more control when you've got a manual. Manual's awesome, and I needed the tray to be a particular size, which that was perfect. And right, racks, you know, I've set up this system here so I can take on and off my secondary rack and do all this sort of bizzo. I carried 1,000 kilos again today, all over the show, all these different jobs, and this very day. So this is rated for 1,005 kilos apparently. So yeah, a lot of work we've done. Happy with these majiggies, and I'm very pleased with this one. Apparently the ladder model, this is a 2018, right? Apparently the ladder models are the same as the whatever they call those other majiggies, and they've got front end issues and bushings and whatever's wear out, and the wheel alignment issues all the time. But this particular model, bloody great. There was quite a few automatics around, but automatics are, you know, well, I'm a real man, right? So I walk around in a singlet, you know, real man. And anyway, so I could have gotten an automatic if I had to, but then I'd just sort of feel shame for the rest of my existence. So luckily I got that. So this rig, it's proving to to be alright. I bought it when it had 203,000 Ks, and today I saw it clock over to 2222222. So we got 223,000. I put 20,000 Ks on the thing in the last 3 months. A bloke was telling me, because I was talking to him about eventually if I was going to, say, have a changeover motor or put a new one in. The only thing I would like to have with this rig, actually, if I was ever going to change it, is those sensor dealy-wheelies that have got on here. So it'll tell you if someone's in your blind spot, those sensor things on this. That's the only thing. You'd probably get an upgrade or something like that. It's the only thing I would ever want to change with this rig, right? I'm thinking of getting these inserts in the tray here, so you can strap these hooks in there, and then they are immersed. They're immersed in the. How do I do this thing too? I've got a tarp and all that in there. Right, so this is for that one of those racks, and they're sort of similar to this, and then you've got a hook but that it's immersed in it, so they bolt. You cut that out. You can do it yourself. What this bloke was saying is you can buy them at old Bunnings or whatever. If you ever buy anything at Bunnings, you have to modify the bloody thing to work anyways. So you cut in here, and then so you put either bolt to something secure, or put maybe a plate under there or something like that, and so that'd be pretty rad. That's sort of customization I would go for, but I'm happy enough. I just hook to here. I don't even bother with that. I just hook to here. Works beautifully. That sort of bends in a bit, strong enough. Anyways, I'm very, very impressed with this machine. It's very good. And this bloke was saying me, because there's this wrecking yard, and I picked up a Fiat motor and took it to some other suburb and dropped it off with those blokes, and the three of us picked up the motor and moved it off the back. And I was talking with him about it, and I said, one of these days I wonder if I would I don't know, get a changeover motor, or get a new motor put in. He goes, yeah, there's a few options you can have, but he says these things, he's seen them upwards of 500,000 kilometres. Alright, so this thing, technically, it's still only halfway through its life of what you could get out of it, So if I can get 400 thou out of this bloody motor, that'd be fantastic. I'm very impressed. Happy enough with these tyres I got from a bloke just up the road. Yeah, he was the same bloke that let me use the air hose, and I took this out and that other filters were saying. But yeah, basically all I did was just the day I was gotten really serious about this rig, I just listened to the motor and sounded bloody great. Went for a bit of a run with it, feeling the gearbox, and did a bit of reversing and forward just to check how's the universal joints going on, how's the tail shaft, how does that feel, any good? And just I'm very impressed. I'll tell you what, those electric forklifts, they give me the shits, because they're sort of really jittery sort of thing, and they won't whack in your bloody rig, and I'm thinking, shit, hit them hard enough, you're going to destroy my bearings. I'm not a fan of all that electric bullshit. From power windows to electric forklifts, no, you can yeah, got more control, you see, with the those gas powered petrol and gas forklifts. Yeah, this video is gonna, as soon as someone hears that, this video is gonna get wormhole and just like my whole channel suppressed. Anyways, but I'm not suppressed. So now, nor depressed. Okay, so I'm sort of finding more about this rig as I go along, but I'm very impressed with it. I'm very impressed with its power. I'm impressed with its performance and all that. It's just really, really good. Just you pinch those and boom, off you go. If you want to check that filter in there, you pinch the glove box and that'll pop down, and then you pinch these thingamajiggies in there, pinchy. That's what they call these in Japanese. Look at this. See this? Pliers. In Japan, they call them pinchy. Isn't that cute? They call them pinchy. Alright, so you pinch these thingies on one side, on the right hand side when you find it, and then it pops out this plastic piece, which is the holder, and then you carefully take the filament out. Yeah, so that's just, apparently, I think that's just for the cabin filter or some bullshit like that. So as I go, I'm just sort of learning more. The only real thing I've had to do with this motor, like change the oil, change the filter, and so I had to turn that on this side, get in there, and you got this sort of these clip bullshits that suck. So I've got this, I just got a couple of screws in there, and that did the job, because those clips always break. And then you get to your filter. You got to be careful about that. Have a decent, so I wish I had a decent sized socket, the right socket for it, but I just use a shifter, and on the other end just a screwdriver or something for leverage, and it's plastic, so just be careful with it. But that worked out nicely, and God, it takes a lot of oil, these things. And the only thing I've been doing really is filling this for the wipers. But every now and again, like, I try to do something every week, you know. Like, I got the tyres sorted out one week and a wheel alignment the week prior. Yeah, did that oil change there. Sorted out that rack bizzo there. The air filters. Some other periodic maintenance thing I did, but I've already forgotten what that was. Anyway, so yeah, you know, this rig, I remember, that reminds me of just the other day, I went to this automotive elect place, and I've been there a few times. I pick up batteries and take them around. I don't know, it's like, sometimes it's just a residence or something like that. And I remember with Vice Grip Garage, he calls these, I said it when I went in there, it's lightning whirlers. That's what he calls them. Alternators are lightning whirlers, and spark plugs are sparkulators. But in this case, we've got injectors with this diesel setup. Apparently, you're not supposed to run them out of fuel, or else they'll have to what's called bleeding the lines again to draw fuel. So you don't want air in your fuel lines. Stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about these bizzos, these like turbo systems or any of that bloody bullshit. I don't know, but some of the formulations of the basic kazoos, you know, the petrol motors are not thoroughly dissimilar. It looks like some kind of pressure valvey thingy majiggy bazigo. I said that before. Alright, so I haven't even bothered to check any belts or anything. Nothing's giving me any noise indications of anything wrong. I'm very impressed with this machine. Now, I'm glad I got this particular model. There's only a slight bit of cosmetics there. I don't give a stuff about that. When I bought this rig, looks like some cosmetic majiggies there too. Missing that bit there. That plate, I think. When I got this rig, I got a real good deal on it. So I figured it seemed like, because I heard this spring for the clutch, and this spring, the return spring, was making a lot of noise, and there was no play here. So here, and then you get once you get that play there, and then you start getting some engagement. I was making this strange noise, and what I figured was maybe someone put another spring there on the other side or something, just to take out that that slack, right, so that they could get onto the clutch easier, something like that. I was thinking maybe someone wanted to do that. I can sort of understand maybe they want to do that, but you're supposed to have some play in it, but you don't want too much play, right? Hang on. Gear poo. And then one day, it was quite a few weeks into, about a couple of weeks I reckon, I popped the clutch in and boom, I hear this noise, and I went, shit, this is not good. And years ago, like, the clutch felt really, really weak. This originally was like a truck clutch, and just a lot of pressure and force needed to push it down, relatively speaking. And then it went really soft, relatively speaking, relative to what it was. So I thought, oh shit, maybe I've broken, which happened to me up in Gundagai years ago, my XF Falconer. The shifting fork, the clutch shifting fork had slipped past. It's a sort of a thing that they do, and slipped past, and it was stuffed, and I didn't have a clutch, so I had to just rev change, and double clutch, no, not double clutch, but just rev change, like a crash box, that 4-speed, it was a 5-speed, and just to keep going when I was up in frickin' Gundagai. Anyways, but what I believe happened was when they probably changed the clutch on this thing at one stage, and right, so new clutch, but when they've reinstalled it, that spring was binding on something, and then all of a sudden, after a few weeks of driving and pushing, and it's popped back into it. It's located correctly. All right. So the only thing I was worried about was was it riding the clutch at all or something like that, burning the clutch out a little bit faster than it would normally, something like that, but I had no problem with it. So now the clutch feels just fine. So I figure when they were selling it, they were probably thinking, oh, that's beautiful now, and the engagement's in the correct position, all that, they must have felt that, oh shit, that maybe that's a flaw in the vehicle. So I got this for far cheaper than what they're going for. So probably that was recognised as an issue. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Because that definitely happened. I didn't just hallucinate that one. You're out there driving for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I tell you, the road was a white line nightmare. Yeah. Yeah. And one day, blurring into the next. I tell you, that's what it is doing this job. But yeah, it popped into place, and it came out really good. So I am very, very pleased with this machine. What it's capable of doing. See, I've been on the road for hours now. What it's capable of doing, I'm very impressed with it. I could lose a lot of the electronic gadgets and bullshits, but a lot of the other electronic gadgets and bullshits, I'm pretty impressed with. So. And I'm going to give that traction control a go too, although I don't mind having a bit of a slidey-widey every now and again, because I'm mature. I reckon that traction control might help to save lives, and just pop it off when it sort of can be sort of annoying sometimes when you're trying to navigate different types of surfaces. Anyways, I'm going to stop babbling now. Alright. Yeah, that's what I'm going to stop doing. And yeah, there is an upgrade to this that I've come up with. A technique. That's something. I've already made it, but I figure if I made it more professionally and sold it to people that do this sort of work, like there's freaking a lot of these on the road, right? So, and it would It creates quite the convenience, shall we say. You know, I came up with the idea all by my own self and brains. Yeah, it's true. Right then, now, another major flaw in the rig. This little thing, the little tab clippy thing broke. Yes, but not when I owned it. So that's you know, that could be why it was a lot cheaper. No, she runs great donk, runs great, and I'm very impressed with it. I really am. And I'm thankful I couldn't afford the ladder model anyways. But yeah, they say they've got like issues with the front ends, and they're the same as the, I don't know what they call the D-Max or some bullshit. I don't know, or not D-Max, some, I don't know. I don't know what this other model it shares componentry with. Don't know, but yeah, I'm very pleased, and I'm gonna shut up now. No one's watching this shit anyway.